Hi, I'm Anne, and I'm a Financial Advisory Manager with Financial Alliance Private Limited. I've been with them for 11 years and currently have 200 over clients under my servicing.
Hi, I'm Afiq. I'm also a Financial Advisory Manager with Financial Alliance. I'm also a consultant with Financial Alliance Islamic Wealth Advisory. So, Anne, I know today we talk about a very heavy topic, right? People die. We can't talk about insurance about people dying. But we're not going to talk about people dying, but preparing for death. You got anybody who died?
Yeah, I do have. I did have a client that passed away. Unfortunately, at an early age, she was about 50 plus. Cancer, a very aggressive cancer that came and took her within 1 year.
Wow.
And I knew her daughter then, so her daughter was having problems to claim. What happened was that there was no will written, so they had to wait for the letter of administration, which took about 9 months to be administered.
Not bad, really. 9 months.
I know, but in between, luckily her children are grown-ups. If it wasn't for the grown-up children, imagine that 9 months, how tough it would be without any inflow. Because my client was working right until she fell sick. And yeah, the 9 months, and there was a lot of costs involved to go to the law firm to draft up the letter of administration before they can finally access her insurance, her bank accounts, investment accounts as well. So yeah, it did create an impact on me because I met her shortly, quite briefly before she fell sick. And after that, I wasn't able to meet her anymore. So yeah, to hear about the experience, it wasn't a good one. So this is the reason why we're having this conversation, this heavy topic that nobody wants to talk about. And it's something that we have to talk about eventually. So I believe you have clients who have, or your friends that have such experiences as well.
Plenty. Of course, at the end of the day, right, one of the most important things people don't realize is dying is simple. But it's the people who have to go through the processes after we're gone, and they don't necessarily understand the processes. You said 9 months. I've had a case where this lady, her father passed away. They needed to get a letter of administration. It's been waiting for the past 17 years.
How so?
I'm not kidding. She was in her early 40s when her father passed away. Now she is in the late 50s already. And because it's such a big family, the late father had multiple wives, many children, lots of properties, onshore, offshore, assets all over the place. And of course, if you know anything about the legal system here in Singapore, everything needs to be in black and white. You need to get everybody agree in writing to appoint the administrator. And of course, with such big assets, nobody wants to agree. No, because the administrator will get all control. And so in this particular case, it's still fighting by the way. It could have all been solved if the late father had simply written, in this case, an Islamic will, appointing the right people to be in charge. People know it's important to write a will. People know it's important to plan for their passing. Because we help people plan their lives, right? Help them plan their money, help them plan their insurance, help them plan their investments, all about living. But what are some of the things that we need to think about when we want to plan about leaving?
Right, I see the word play there. Very important. There are many things involved in our lives, in everyday lives. We have our families, we have our properties, mortgage loan to pay for, we have our work to take care of, and then there are always things that we can never let go or we are thinking of. All these are involving, yes, when you say when we are living. Okay, so what happens after death? You'll be surprised a lot of people doesn't care. Or rather they feel that I'm young, I won't die so soon, because looking at the mortality rate in Singapore, I have maybe 40, 50 more years to go before I need to write my will. Some people feel that way. Yeah. And or they feel that they are not rich enough. I don't have so much assets, why do I need to write a will? Or it's too complicated. Like how? Where do I start from? And the last part is what most of my clients have difficulty, choosing guardianship. Who to be the guardian? So the very first step, usually how we help our clients to do planning is maybe number one, we start with nomination. Very simple. Just sign on a nomination form, start with your insurance policies. Because these are all non-Islamic wills or non-Islamic estate planning we're talking about. So we start with nomination, give how many people, how many percent, these people exist with their NRIC address, date of birth, and we are good to go. That is the first step. Secondly is maybe looking at all your assets. A lot of people say I don't have a lot. But look, you have your property, maybe a car, maybe some Chanel bags or Rolex watch. Yes, that you want to give as inheritance, as a gift to your next of kin or people that you love. Okay, these are another step to do that. So basically, the whole idea of writing a will, estate planning, is to give instructions to have things being done the way that you want them to be done.
Give this to this person, give this to that person, put me here, put me there.
Yeah, but executor is also another thing. Who is going to help me run to the law firms, running to HDB, running to the next of kin, to settle on the bank account, to go to the banks to settle all these things? Yeah, so this is another headache for our clients. But definitely, I think it's always good. We do a review for our clients to run through, we always talk about protection, wealth protection, insurance. Then we talk about investments, savings for the wealth accumulation part. But what about planning for your wealth when you are no longer around? You see, you spend so much time and effort, so much money on building it all, but the moment that you passed on, it gets, like in your client's case, 17 years stuck in nowhere. Yeah, nobody can touch it.
Not my problem, let them handle.
Exactly, so what's the whole point of doing all this? Right, where nobody's going to benefit from it. Right, so this is important, and I think this is why we're having this conversation now, is that we can help our clients with different law firms. We have a lot of partners that we can work with. If you're not happy with this lawyer's face, we can work with another person. Yeah, if you find it too complicated, we will simplify it for you, so that you don't feel so suffocated, and you can sit down and really run through all the things, and we will make it easy and a smooth process for you. The entire process it can be very simple, as long as you know how you want it to be distributed. As simple as that. I think it's the same for Islamic will writing as well, right?
Yeah, conceptually, I think I would walk my clients through a very specific process with me. So for those of you watching out there, before you start thinking about writing your will, whether Islamic or non-Islamic, consider the three things again: the who, the what, and the how. Who's involved, who are the people within my family, who are my executors, the people in charge, who do I want to take care of my kids for me when I'm gone, and who do I really want to give to a bit of extra here and there. Can I give to charities? Can I do what we call a perpetual endowment, or in Islamic terms, a wakaf, which continue to give me good deeds even after I'm gone? So we think about who, then think about the what. Right? I did mention what. Your house, CPF insurance, bank account, even jewelry, collectibles. I have a client who has lots of toys, those action figures. I have a client who collects a lot of gold bars, like literal gold bars. And the next question to answer is like, how do these people get all these things? Right? How do I distribute it properly? Because we have to understand that you can have tools like nominations, you can have joint tenancies, you can have joint accounts. But for like collectibles like toys, like gold bars and all this, your jewelry, how do you prove that this person owned these items? Right? How do I tell that, this watch, I saw Anne wearing that watch, must be hers. Could she have borrowed it? Right? And so at the point of distribution, then they'll be fighting like, no, Anne had that watch. It belonged to her. It should go to me. She said that she wants to give to her good friend, me. And so one of those things where there's a lot of uncertainty and doubt. And so consider all these things first before you decide what you want to do. Write it all down, your who, the what, the how. Then after that, talk to one of us. And you vet through, make sure you're doing the right thing, make sure you know what you're doing, and then make sure that the documentation we create for you is properly done. One of the worst things that happen I've seen is somebody, Ken, Afiq, I know everything already. I know. Ken, you just help me look through the will. I DIY. No need to pay. I DIY. Then he showed me the will. So many errors, so many mistakes. The whole thing went against the Islamic principles. And even the witnesses he chose wrong. I looked at him and I told him, you think the courts will take this? Can one? I DIY. You tell me to think about it. I wrote it down. Then we got it vetted through by a professional lawyer, a good friend of mine. Lawyer also laughed. And I know, son, thrown out one. So in the end, he went through us and we helped him draft out the will for him. And today now, not praying for his death, let's just put it that way, not praying for his death, but at least he knows at the end of the day, everything he has thought about, everything that he knows will happen at the point of his death will happen. And it is legit. That's the key thing here. And so, he always joked like, I can die in peace now. Dude is only 40, you know. I want to die in peace.
But just a question, it's a chicken and egg thing, isn't it? Do you start writing down a lot of people have the inertia, they do not start writing down the who, what, how.
Scared die, ma?
Of course, don't like to talk about it, ma.
Would you like to talk about it?
Different because we're in this line.
Yeah, forced to.
Yeah, and even in our will writing, we even ask what are funeral rites. For us, there's a lot of variations, you see. Yeah, so these are the things. But the thing is, before they come to you, or will you encourage them to do first? Because it's a chicken and egg thing. I won't start writing on it because I feel young, I feel healthy.
Okay. Then very simple. Because when it comes to Islamic finance, of course we follow religion a lot. And so there is a prophetic tradition, also called a hadith, from Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He said this: it is not permissible for any Muslim to go 2 nights without having his will ready and written with him if he has any assets.
Really?
Yes. So it's a religious thing for us to have our own wills. A lot of people don't know. They're like, ayo. Once they hear that part, like, okay, I got to write one. And so, easy. And here's the thing. Wills, Islamic wills or even conventional wills don't have to be so complicated. Right? Just think about who are the people, my executor, my guardian. These two take care of my assets, take care of my babies. Gautim. Then you got any other wishes you want to do? Do I want to give somebody this, give that, give here? Or give everything to my family? Sign off, get the 2 right witnesses, which I'm glad here at Financial Alliance, we can provide. Right? And then sign off. Gautim liao. Settle. No need to be too complicated. Then as we go along in our lives, in our career, you buy a second house, you buy a 3rd house, a 2nd car, you got your 4th baby, 5th wife, 6th dog. Then you can start, okay, maybe I need to relook at all my assets and redo things a little bit more. But at least you know your foundation is already set. You just build upon that foundation.
But the thing is, there are more awareness now. More people are aware that, oh, I should do this. But it's always at the back of the mind. And then they'll watch some YouTube videos and go like, oh, I should do. Then I have a few clients that procrastinated for 10 years. From their kid was 7 years old until now their kids are old enough to take care of their own finances. Then they say, okay, we are ready to write a will. But thank goodness, nothing happened to them over the past 10 years. So I would highly encourage everybody, no matter you have children, no children, satu orang, 1 person by yourself, do something to ease the trouble of your living beneficiaries so that they know what to do. There's a lot of loss when it comes to a death of a loved one. And what should they do? This is just doing something for them in advance.
No urgency, right? So a lot of people know urgency. So let me share a story. For all of you watching out there today, at the point of this recording, of this video, 3 weeks ago, a good friend of mine went to the clinic in the morning and he complained to the doctor of gastric pains. Doctor gave him some medicine. He went home. His wife was there. He said, I'm tired, I want to take a nap. Wife checked on him at 12 p.m. All okay. He died at 3 p.m. in his sleep. 42 years old. I still think about him all the time. He's one of my good friends. And he's not Muslim, by the way. He's not Muslim. I don't know if he's had a will, but if that doesn't tell you how urgent you need to have one, and that God can take you away at any time, and he's a very staunch Christian, I think we all should have our own wills, whether or not you have a little bit of assets, a lot of assets. Just write your own will. Talk to one of us. 42 years old, gone. I miss him. And it's only been 3 weeks.
Sorry to hear this.
Have you written your will?
To be honest, yes, I've done my own will.
Good.
Yeah.
So am I.
For yourself?
Of course. Important.
That's good. And I think the next step is also to review it, like you mentioned just now. Fourth child, fifth wife, second property. That's usually the case. Yeah, to review it. And I think one of the good things that we did for our clients is that there is a schedule of assets. That's attached
such
to
a
the will.
useful one. I have a client, just to share on you, before we talk about schedule of assets, I have a client who told me his father passed away a while back, long ago. And they finally found his CPF monies because one of the siblings decided, hey, late father, our papa, got CPF? Don't know. Let's go and check with CPF. Have. But this was like years and years and years ago, before CPF started notifying people and all that. But because the CPF was unnominated, CPF board just held on to it. So your schedule of assets, tell us a little bit more about why that's so important.
Yeah, and I think, a lot of people now are aware that CPF cannot be willed. So you have to do your nomination. It can be done online nowadays. So yeah, just click, and your witnesses are virtual, as in they don't need to be there in person to look at you sign the nomination form. So CPF cannot be nominated. I think a lot of people are more aware of that. But if you die without a will, it is called intestate.
Intestate, yes.
Yeah. So that's when things get tricky
and messy.
Yes.
Like for example, you could say you got $1 million. I tell you what, I have $1 million. I got $1 million and that $1 million is for you. But I never tell you where that $1 million is.
Precisely.
That's why you need schedule assets.
Yes.
Right?
The schedule assets. I think what's most important is schedule assets, because most of my clients tell me, oh, I have nothing to write. No, it's just a watch, it's just a bag, it's fine. But there is a section that says about all your accounts. Your Gmail account, your bank account online.
All the sexy pictures of myself.
Yeah, where to delete it in case they're uncovered.
The digital death. Yes, digital death is something that's very important.
Yeah, I have a client that told me that if he dies, his son will pry his eyes open to unlock the phone to play games. Yeah, so yeah, we don't want that to happen, you see. Or the last thing you need from your dead loved one is, I still need the thumb. Can you leave the thumb so that I can unlock his phone? Exactly. So these are and a lot of people don't remember their passwords. So I think it is very important also to keep for us, we do that for our clients. It's up to you. Your password is kept with you. But I think it's only good that you leave certain breadcrumbs for your executors to, pick up along the way to unlock your treasure box.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we talk very much about physical assets, house, we talk about our money in bank accounts and all that. But in today's world of digital assets, you've got cryptocurrencies, you've got NFTs. Yeah, heck, you don't even need to look at assets. You can look at your social media presence.
Oh, yes.
All of this. Ultimately, we need to be able to have a place somewhere with instructions to my loved ones. Dear Anne, when I die, here's my login ID and password for my Facebook account. I know of people out there who are considered individuals, but they have their own company, either a sole pro or LLC, I can't remember. And the last case we heard, to be able to assist with the letter of administration or ground of probate, I can't remember which one this case was, that guy charged $25,000 just to assist the family making the claim. The total estate size was below 100K.
25,000.
And the family agreed to pay.
Because they didn't have any other options?
Because they didn't know. And quite frankly, the simplest thing for you to do in the event of a person's passing is just speak to a law firm, ask them about their administration process or their probate process and how much they charge. From what I remember, it's roughly about $1,500 to $2,000 and above, depending on how complicated the case is. But there are still people out there who are charging through the nose to unsuspecting people who don't know any better.
So I think this is a service that we are doing for our clients, because we can help to source out or to help with the grant of probate and look for, I would say more reasonable pricing, and it is not stuck to one law firm that we can only work with. There are several ones that can we work with, and depending on how complicated, like you mentioned, then we will cater and tailor to your needs, right? I mean, not everybody needs 25,000 law firm or somebody to help. That is ridiculous.
Yeah, it is ridiculous. And so I think one of the biggest value that we can add as consultants here today is really on the education side. You know, we go out there, talk to our clients, talk to the public, tell them about how important, estate planning is, writing the will. And at the end of the day, all they have to do is ask us questions. Right? For those of you out there watching, just ask us a question. If you do have a burning question that you need help with, drop us a message, leave us a comment. Hopefully, we'll have an answer for you. And if we don't have the answer, we'll ask and find out.
Precisely.
That's the best part about being independent. I don't have an agenda to push. You are my agenda. So we talked about CPF and insurance nominations, right? We know what nominations are. We pick who we want to get the proceeds from either our CPF or our insurance. But you said you have a story about nominated and unnominated insurance policies, right? Tell us a little bit more about that.
Okay, this case really shows the importance of doing a nomination. Even though a lot of my clients say, can wait lah, don't need to worry yet lah. Maybe they can split among themselves lah. Okay, so it's not so much of how to split or what in the nomination. It's the simplicity when it comes to claim. So upon the death of my client due to cancer, he had two policies. One was nominated, one wasn't nominated. The one that was nominated was pretty straightforward. You know, just submission of the requirements of the death certificate, information of the beneficiaries. That's it. The other one was that it wasn't nominated, so there were a lot more information required. And given this complicated process, because the requirements was a list of requirements, the family decided to shut off. They decided to, okay, never mind, let's not think about this, let's not do anything about this.
No need to claim, don't want to claim, not now, don't want to think.
Correct. Just one day we will do it. Not now. Okay. In fact, I have also seen families with payouts that are still stuck with the insurance company after 10 years. Because they just are not willing to go ahead with the letter of administration. Because there was no nominee done, no nomination done, there was no will done, and everybody, in fact, the family is quite big, so they go like, you do lah, no lah, you do. So end up nobody does it, and the money is just stuck there. Yeah, even though we know there is money there, nobody is doing anything about it. But of course, these are the cases where people feel that the money not a lot lah, or they don't need money yet.
Isn't there a movie called Money No Enough?
Yeah, apparently now money quite enough for a lot of people.
What?
Yes, what? Yeah, or they just simply try to turn a blind eye to it and go like, no lah, you do. I don't want to look like I'm hard up for the money, especially for Chinese. This is something that is very sensitive. So yeah, and so what's the whole point of buying insurance when nobody's gonna gain from it? What's the whole point of putting money aside so many years and your beneficiaries are go like all too paiseh to do anything, you know, and like you do, I do, no, I don't do that, just leave it.
Better nominate, right? Makes
Correct.
sense.
Just do the nomination, sign it off, and it's simple as that.
So then at least you know after you've nominated, okay, you want to fight, you fight lah, you fight. But you don't want to do, okay lah, bochap lah, okay. But I've done my nomination already. I know who will get the money. I can die in peace.
Exactly, yes.
You know, I saw this article quite recently. I think Ustaz Harun, also part of Faiwa, Ustaz Harun shared it to us. And he was saying that there is 70 billion ringgit in unclaimed assets from people who passed away in Malaysia. 70 billion ringgit. Like, even if you talk about exchange rate today, it's still a lot of money.
Yes.
Right? All stuck in the estate planning, in the estate process that they just cannot get out. Whether because no will, never make nomination, or people bochap, don't know is the worst. Imagine this. People who, I got a lot of money one, but I never tell my family, I never tell my wife, I never tell my children, it's okay. And then these people who need the money the most,
Doesn't even know.
Papa got money, don't know where to find. Right? So
Yeah.
ultimately, all of this, whether you're thinking about your nominations, whether you're thinking about your assets, whether you think about anything, like, as long as you're thinking lah, please write it all down. You know?
So, having said so much, Afiq, the who, what. Can you give us a conclusion, like a summary? How do we go about doing it? I'm also getting a bit confused after all this conversation.
They're very simple. Okay, for those of you out there, if you're watching this, you're probably reasonably young and at least also still alive. Okay, because I don't know date people can watch video or not lah. Right? So what are the things that you're going to think about before you embark on the estate planning journey? Wow, sounds so fancy, right? Very, very, very simple. All you have to do, number one, write down your family tree. Think about the people involved. Who will be sad when you die? Who will get your stuff when you die? Right? Who are the people you want to be in charge of everything when you die? Right? So who? Then think about what? What do I have? Some people say, I have nothing. But actually, nowadays, a lot of people have a lot of things. If you're Singaporean, typically you have minimum DPS. Okay, bro? You die, you get 70k. Well, you don't get it, they get it. So think about what you have. Housing, bank accounts, jewelry, digital assets. And third thing is you think about how, man. How do these people get what I have? How do I want to give it away? How? These are different tools that you can use. For example, nominations, joint bank accounts, writing a will. All these are the different tools that we use.
With so much being said, if you would like to embark on your estate planning journey, don't forget to
choose independent. And if you've liked all the things that you've heard today, don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, share the video, and we'll see you at the next one.